Ads, they're absolutely everywhere, where you're searching online, when you're watching YouTube videos, even when you're reading magazines. And I personally hate them. Except when they're on my websites and YouTube channel. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's Phil here. So today we're going to be talking about display ads. Now, if you've been watching any of my videos recently, you know that display ads are about 90% of my monthly revenue, and that's gone up pretty quickly in the last couple of months. So today I'm going to convince you of three things. Firstly, put ads onto your website today. The second thing is don't use Adsense anymore. And the third thing, well, give me a like. That's fair enough, right? And another thing, guys, if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to be revealing one of the sites that I own and also how I managed to increase the ad revenue by over 600% since I bought it.
Oh no, you didn't!
That's just crazy. So before we go much further, I just want to say thanks to everyone that watched my last video. I got a lot of support. I also got a lot of people kind of like calling me on my crap and saying, you know, you got to put your head down and work. So I appreciate both sets of people. If you haven't seen that video, you can catch it in the description of this video. Check the channel. I also want to say that in the last week I've been working really hard on my websites. I've been pulling pretty late nights, so if I look like the way I look now, that's why. Anyway, I want to tell you about a story of a website that I bought back in September 2019, and it probably wasn't a very good purchase, but things have got pretty interesting just in the last week because I made one small change. So back in September 2019, about 4 months after I joined Project 24, I thought, hey, wouldn't it be a good idea to have a new site and build that up at the same time? I obviously hadn't seen my video from last week. And I went on to Flipper and I looked through all the possible sites and I found this particular one. And the reason I bought it was because it had a very aged domain. The domain when I bought it was about 9 years old, I think. So that makes it about 10 or 11 years old now. That probably doesn't make much of a difference if you don't actually work with it. So I paid about $400 for this site from a nice chap called Jeff. It had a little bit of traffic. It didn't make any money. I don't know why I paid so much, but I did. I got caught up in the auction and I wanted to have it. Anyway, so the website is called bestmansbestman.co.uk. So again, it's probably not a best site because it's a .co.uk. I would prefer to have the .com. I think I also have that as well. So pretty much I bought the site and I didn't do anything to it. I didn't put any content onto it. The only thing I did was to add the Google AdSense code to try and get a little bit of money. And I think I added maybe one little affiliate thing for wedding speeches because it kind of made sense. So if we go back and look at how much traffic this site has actually got since I bought it, so going through the stats, apparently it's only had about 12,000 page views since about September the 22nd, 2019. It doesn't get a lot of traffic. And since about January, apparently it's growing in traffic. I had totally forgotten about this site. I didn't really remember that I owned it. And it was a bit of a palaver actually because the guy had it on GoDaddy, was selling it through them. I just wanted to get the files for the site and transfer the domain over to where I keep my domains. But GoDaddy wouldn't release it. So I had to end up buying hosting from them, and a massive pain in the ass. And then I forgot my password and all this kind of stuff. I managed to get back into the site a few days ago to make this change. So anyway, yeah, so it's got 12,000 page views in the last couple of years. If we break that down, so sort of in the last 30 days, so from June the 5th to May the 5th, it's got about 1,200 views, and I'm not including up to today. For me it's the 9th, because on the 6th of June, D-Day, I got a massive kind of bot traffic, I think, to my homepage. This has happened for lots of my sites, so I'm not counting that because it's not real traffic. So 1,291 page views, and yeah, not a very good site. So I put on Google AdSense, and I want to just have a bit of a disclaimer here. I am the average blogger. According to my wife, I might even be a little bit below average, but that's another story. So I'm not an expert in AdSense. At the time when I put this on, I'd never had ads on a website before, so it's possible that I didn't set everything up perfectly. But just for my little case, in the total time that I've owned the site, it got only £4.77, which is about $6 to $7. That's the entire time that I've had AdSense on it, and I put AdSense on it around the 23rd of September 2019. It's not even made a $5. So a couple of weeks ago, I kind of remembered that I had this site, and I thought, hey, why don't I put some other ads on it? I've joined Ezoic. Ezoic's paying me quite well. Why don't I just put some ads on that? Gets about the same amount of page views as my other wedding site. Why not see if I can get a little bit of money to pay me back the $400 that I paid? It might take me a while. So around the 29th of May 2021, I took AdSense off of this site and I put Ezoic on it instead. All I had to do was change the name servers over. It wasn't too difficult actually. It set up pretty quickly. And since then, which is up to this point about a week and a half ago, that site has made $1.18, which is not big money, but that is based on 330 website visits. So if we go through the maths, so on AdSense, this site made about $6.75 over the entire life that I had it on AdSense, and it got about just over 12,000 page views. So if we divide 675 by 12, so that gives us about a 56 cents earning per milli views. So I'm doing this on page views, not visitors. If we do the same for Ezoic, it made $1.18 in the last week or so. So $1.18 divided by 0.3, that would give us an EPMV of $3.93, which according to this calculator I found on Google is about a 600% increase. And I didn't really do much. But if we jump on Ezoic, we can see they break down the earnings here on the page. So they give me an EPMV of $3.55. And I believe that's because I'm working that out on page views and they work that on visitors. Something like that. Pretty much all I did is I integrated bestmansbestman.co.uk with Ezoic through my my name servers. So all you have to do once you've added the site to Ezoic is you go to your settings and you go down to your site integration, and it gives you instructions and it tells you the name service to send it to. And then once that's all working, you go through to your monetization and you add all your placeholders. And there's a nice little handy little Chrome extension that you can get. So if I turn it on, so we go and we just click on create, select location, and it should come up with all these ad placements. So if I want to go and say add something at the bottom here, click on this, insert here. What would this be? Bottom of page, say the placeholder. So again, I'm not really an expert, I'm still the average blogger. If you want to know how to set up these placeholders in the best way, again, I really recommend going over to Josh's channel, which is White Hat Pro Blogger, I think. I put it up on the screen because I always mess up these things. But Josh, he's got some really good videos. You just go through them step by step. He explains everything that you want to do. But this is all I did. I went through, I added a couple of placements, The articles on this website are incredibly short and for the most part incredibly shite. That's the way I bought it. I haven't done anything to it. But still, it took me less than half an hour really to get this going. Of course, I'm already accepted to Ezoic. If you join, it might take you a little bit longer. But I got it setting up, and now I'm earning 600 times what I was earning with Adsense. So basically, my advice is if you're starting off now, put ads onto your website. And the great news is that Ezoic, the thing that's just increased my ad revenue on this little tiny site by 600%, you can join that right now. Before, they had this threshold of 10,000 page views. Now you can get in from day one. So if you're interested in joining Ezoic, I do have an affiliate link in the description. If you found this little story interesting, then feel free to use that. But if you don't use it, that's absolutely fine. But get on to Ezoic. Now, I'm not saying that Ezoic is better than Adsense in all ways. There's a bit of a debate about that going on in the Project 24 community at the moment. All I'm saying is that if an idiot like me can set it up and make that difference in my revenue, then someone smart like you can do even better. So yeah, Adsense can work. I just like Ezoic because it has a lot more control, and it seems that comparatively with the same kind of traffic, it earns a lot more. That's just my experience. And just one little thing I want to leave you with. So I don't normally reveal my sites, but I've spoken about Best Man's Best Man because I think it's a pretty crappy website. It was a terrible purchase. I shouldn't have bought it. It's a waste of my money. But it's one of those sites on my list to try and turn around to get my money back. I just want to show you a look at the entire life of this site and to kind of warn you off buying something similar. So if we look back at this site, apparently the data I have, it started around November 2012 and it went through all these kind of ups and downs, and you can see quite clearly that it was losing traffic up until the moment that I kind of bought it. So around the point that I bought it, sort of at the end of September, it was really dying a death. So if I had the same experience as I did now, I definitely wouldn't have bought this site. For some reason, after 4 months of being in Project 24, I felt invincible. So thanks very much for watching the video. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a like. And if you're not running ads on your site right now, why not join Ezoic? And if you want to use the link in the description, that would be great. I will see everyone again in a future video very soon.